is about to be a war in the FC community, and I believe that this is the biggest issue we've ever had, and it could completely tear the community apart. For years and years, everyone has just blamed EA for a bad game. However, right now, the community is torn in two, wanting two completely different things. The enemy, which I'm going to be honest is way too strong of a word, but it always used to be EA. Now I'm seeing that the enemy is actually the other side of the FC community. So today, because there's so many things to go through, I'm going to load up a squad battles game. We've got some evos to do, and I'm just going to chat about some stuff while I play the game. So what we're going to go through is I want to talk about who the two sides are and what they want, what could happen to the game, and also what we should do from here so that this just doesn't get out of hand. All right, so what are these two sides? Well, for FC 26 early on, EA put a big thing out there saying that they were going to listen to the community and, you know, that was going to be the direction of the game. They're going to listen to what the community wanted to say and what they wanted to see, and they would try to implement that into the game. And for me, I could quite quickly see two sides form. Now, these two sides, let's jump into who they are and kind of what they want. So the first side, I'm going to put some little categories in here of people that fall into these categories. This does not mean that you belong in these categories at all, but I'm just kind of generalizing here, trying to fit some people in so you can kind of tell who the types of people are and who they want. Starting off with category one, and I'm just going to be honest, I'll put my thoughts out there because it's good to kind of put my thoughts out there as well. I don't expect you to believe everything I believe and want everything I want because we've all had different experiences. But I feel like I fall into this category. And the first category is people that have been playing this game, FC, or for them, FIFA. It's been FIFA for all those years. Playing that game ages ago, the OGs of this game. Also, a lot of the people that fall in this category are content creators, streamers, and pros. They also fall into this category a lot. When making this video and thinking about it, I realized we have a lot of like content creators that are kind of from my type of age and maybe even a little bit older. So they have been playing this game for a long time and they have got in their heads this feeling of what it used to be like, how good the game used to be and how it is going downhill as we've kind of gone on. And that is a feeling that is shared quite strongly amongst people kind of my age. Now in this community we have people like Run the Foot Market who spent years seeing this game go downhill, and he's been very vocal about where the game sits, and he's been very honest with where the game sits. So I'm just going to use him as an example. He has been fighting for a better game, lack of a better word, but fighting for a better game. And the community has got behind him. The community has for years and years said we need a better game, it's not good enough. However, I actually don't think that the community fully understood what Nick was fighting for, and we're starting to see that play out now in FC 26, and I believe this is where kind of the problem is creeping in. All right, so what does this side want? Well, as I said before, a lot of these people have been playing the game for years and years and years, and they remember what they would call the good old days. And I think a lot of people have kind of this, there's like everyone in that age group is wanting the same thing. They believe that the gameplay has gone downhill and that it is getting worse and worse. And one thing that people in that category have kind of been asking for is less AI. The AI is kind of taking over the game. It's making it hard to play. And for us, we kind of feel like, you know, the game used to be about skill level of the player, the person who's playing, and that there was a skill gap. And if you were better than the other person, you would get the win, and that is a big part of it. And you could kind of see that in the games that they're just getting more based around good AI. The AI got better and better and better, especially in defending. So this side of the community can really see pushing for less AI, all right? AI to drop off so that there is like a little bit more of a skill gap. And it's not the AI winning you games, but it's actually the player manually defending and doing stuff like that. And that there's been a lot of other issues and stuff. That's just the main issue I want to focus on now, because this is the issue that is really tearing the community apart. Let's define the other category. Who is in that other category? And the big side of who is in that other category is casual gamers. And I believe that these casual gamers and players that haven't been playing for that long, so maybe just started playing the game in the last 5 years, and these players, I think, actually make up. I think a lot of us, especially in my kind of era, don't really understand how big that base is, all right? We come at this and think, oh, we are, like, everyone wants the same thing, and we all are thinking the same thing. But these casual gamers outnumber the other category probably by a bit. I don't know how much by, but I know that there is way more of them, and I'll get onto that in a sec. So what do these guys want? Well, they've also been saying that this game is not perfect. However, they have just kind of, I reckon, gone along with the flow, saying, yes, we don't want that game. And I don't think they understood what the other side of the coin wanted, what the other team wanted, what we want, not team, but the other side of the community wanted. And they thought, yes, we want a better game, because of course they want a better game. But I don't think, because they never played those early games, they didn't actually realize what we were trying to fight for. All right, so now we know who the two sides of the community are. What is the issue? What is the thing that is going to come between the two sides? And that has been really clearly shown at the start of FC 26. And I just want to say it, all right, I know a lot of people don't say good things a lot of the time about EA, but something that they have put a big emphasis on, and they have clearly shown that they are doing it, is actually listening to the community. And I think they really have listened to the community, and they've shown that early that they will make changes if the community wants something. So, the big start, FC 26 came out, and for a lot of people in the first category that I mentioned, the OGs, the streamers, the content creators, the things like that, they loved the game. They thought this was a step in the right direction, and it was great. What was different? Well, defending was hard. We have to now manually defend. And I'm just going to be honest, a lot of us aren't good at it, because we have, like just everyone else, had to play the game with a lot of AI, and we've just fallen back in those traps. They're just using the AI to defend better because, well, they were better. The AI defense was better than if we actually were controlling them. So, in that case, we absolutely love to see the old system of like, okay, you really have to focus up and defend hard manually, and it is your skill that is actually going to determine if you stop the goal or not. However, as this has started in FC 26, so many people are complaining about how many goals are being scored because they're unrealistic scorelines. And I'll be honest, I get it, all right? They are unrealistic scorelines. Seeing that many goals in games doesn't happen in real life. And you could see that is something that the community on the second that I mentioned, kind of the newer casual gamers, they want a game that's realistic, and the score lines are a big thing for them. Seeing a score line like 2-1, 1-0 is something that you see in everyday everyday games that you watch. So they want it to be realistic. However, even though these score lines have been unrealistic, my stance was that we were all just going to get better at manual defending, and as we got better at manual defending, then the score lines would start to come down. But there was two sides of the community, and you could really see that like the OGs and creators, they really wanted to get better at manual defending because they knew that if they get better at it, they're just going to get better at the game. However, you could see the other side of the coin go, well, no, I'm not used to this. Where's my AI defense? I've only played the game for the last 5 years with AI defense. I don't know how to manual defend. It's way too hard. They've changed the game too much. And understandably, we're getting beaten in so many games by massive score lines. And look, I could understand it. Like, you were going 13-2, 14-1, and then suddenly you're conceding 7 or 8 goals a game, and you're not getting those records anymore. You're just scoring so many goals, and it is just so different. But then for the other side, they were going and having a look and being like, the game is back. We are finally able to attack, score goals. And for us, it was have fun. For this other side, the first community I mentioned, it was having fun. We were having fun again because we were scoring goals. Yes, the score lines didn't look realistic, but for us, it was kind of like, man, we enjoy actually playing this game. The game doesn't have to have realistic score lines. I just want to end the game going, man, I won because I deserved it, or I lost because I deserved it, and I got to score goals along the way, which is the best bit about playing this game. Now, this isn't just the only thing. It's not about AI defending. Another thing that they talk about is promos and slowing down the power curve. For the people in the first community, we remember not many promos and remember using gold cards all the way until like team of the season, like going in and using cards for that long. And we were enjoying that, yes, the power curve was coming down. And the other side of the community, They love promos. They love new cards. They want to change the team all the time. And without the promos, then the game just gets boring. There's really nothing to do. So there is plenty of examples of this, and it's not just those two things, and we could talk about all these different issues along the way, but you can clearly tell that there's actually just two sides of the community that just want two completely different games. Well, if you guys do not know, EA has just released a new patch, and to be fair, and to EA's credit, they have listened to the community, because that casual fan base, the people that I am talking about that are in that second category, there's way more of them. There is way more of them, and you can clearly see in just me posting videos on TikTok. If I say anything about the gameplay patch being different, same with Run the Foot Market, just a bunch of those creators out there being a bit annoyed about how the patch has ruined the game. If you look at the comments, the top comment is always, "You guys are wrong. You guys are wrong. It was so hard to defend, it's unrealistic." And you can really see that EA has seen that more people want it to be the second way, the casual way of defending being easier, AI boosted, more promos, more cards, and things like that. So yeah, again, to EA's credit, they've gone out there and made the change that, if you look at the forums, the community wants. Like, the community wants it. It's overwhelming that that is the thing that they want to fix. And honestly, for me, if I want to share my opinion, I don't like it, because I am someone who remembers the manual games. I'd way rather be manual. I know it's tough to defend. I want to stick it out. I want to see this game be hard. I want it to be hard. I don't care that the scorelines are a lot, because at this stage, that's fine. Like, we want goals. Goals are fun. Scoring goals is, again, the best bit of the game. You want to see goals. Yes, defending is hard, but we're going to get better at it. As the game goes on, we're going to get better at it. But it kind of seems like that at the community at this stage, like the majority don't want that. They want the game to be easier to defend now. They don't want to have to put in the long yards to be better at the game. And I kind of understand that. They were good at the game. They were using different mechanics, knew how to do that, and now everything's got to change and they've got to do something different. So I can understand why they would be angry too. Now, I know that a lot of you guys watching this video right now are probably in the second category. You are in that category, and you probably feel like that, because I'm just going to say, a lot of the content creators, like 99% of them, are loving this change because they have played the games for years and years and years. And you might be sitting there going, I love this game. I love the new patch. It's way better for me. Defending's better and you want to be there. I do want to let you guys know that you're in the majority. Even though there's a lot of word out there in videos and stuff that are saying that this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, you guys are actually in the majority of people. You're definitely not by yourself, because the community has been loud since FC 26 came out that this game is not where most people want it to be, especially defensive-wise. The big thing is where do we go from here? And this is something that's very interesting, because over the years, the FC community has been a tight-knit group wanting the same thing, and that is a better game. It really was. All we wanted was a better game, something that we would enjoy to play, a game that we enjoyed to play. And we've had a common, again, I'm going to say it, enemy, even though that's way too strong of a word, but it was EA. We knew that EA had to make the change, and it was on them to fix it. Now, at the moment, I don't think we can say that anymore, because EA has done everything they can. I want to give them a tiny bit of credit. They've listened to the community, and all that's come out of it is that the community doesn't know what it wants. Well, it kind of does. It just wants two completely different things. And that is just on the main big issues. The community, when you go down to the individual issues, there is 3 million different scenarios and games that people want to see. And at this stage, like, I don't know what is going to fix this. I really don't know what's going to fix it. So I think that this is actually going to be an ongoing difference. Now, I have seen an issue that was slightly similar to this in the past, and that has recently been fixed this year, and that is the difference between the career mode community and the ultimate team community. When you look at the career mode community, they wanted realism. They really wanted that realistic gameplay. And for the people in the ultimate team, that realistic gameplay didn't really make it fun to play against people. And EA have come out and made two completely different game modes. So we've seen this before. We've seen a split in the community, and they have been able to fix it. Can we just do that again But just for the Ultimate Team community, I don't think we can do that. I don't think that is an option, but I'm just going to say that it has been fixed before, so I'm not going to come out and say that this is the end of the game and at some stage this is going to get worse and worse. I don't know what's going to happen from here. I really don't. But I have seen a good resolution come out. I believe that this competitive and realistic gameplay has been a great addition. And I think both communities, the Ultimate Team and the Career Mode community, are really happy with the way that it's turned out. All right, so I have rambled and said a bunch of things. And I hope that you guys can just see where my heart is on this. And I just want to see a better game. And I think we all want to see a better game. And I think we're realizing now the FC community just wants two different things. So I don't know where we're going to end up. I just don't want it to become an actual war, because I'm seeing so many creators making videos saying, we want the game to go back to the way it was. And then I'm seeing a lot of people who watch those videos, the people that look up to the content creators, see them play, stream every day, having a completely different opinion and saying, no, this patch is way better, defending is so bad, we need to fix it, all right? I get where both communities are coming from, and I think there is going to be a ground where we come together and it works out in the end. But I just do not want to see the content creators and kind of the viewers coming together and having a bit of a fight. Now, the big question is what do you guys think? What categories do you fall into? What do you want to see the game to be? I think this is a great opportunity to do stuff like this down in the comments. EA is listening. EA is genuinely listening. They have proven that with their last patch. Write your stuff down in the comments. Tell me what you guys think, and we'll find out what the community wants more of. As me being an OG person who's played so many games and loved the start of FC 26, I'll be honest, it seems like it's probably not going to continue to head that direction. I would love it to, because I can see a future where all those people who played five years of like hardly manual defending and the AI being so good, you guys are going to get better at it. And in 2-3 years time, we reckon, because we've experienced it, you guys are going to have more fun in the end. But right now, of course, it would be so hard to play the game if you've never done it before. And again, we are struggling too. Like, I'm struggling to manual defend. I'm using silver center backs, all right? I'm getting kicked, all right? But I can see that in the future, this would be better for us. So that is my opinion, but that doesn't mean it's the right opinion at all. I would love to hear what you guys have to say, what you think. Love to have discussions on this. And remember, EA's listening, so you writing that stuff down in the comments could mean the difference into what happens later in this game as they continue to do patches. And again, I love that EA has come out straight after they've made this patch. There's been some things saying that we might revert some of the stuff because they've seen that it didn't work. And that is something that EA has never been honest about. When they make a patch, it kind of seems like they always had to think that they get it right. But obviously, they're not going to get everything right. So they're trying different things out. And again, one side of the community might want something, and then they realize that, again, so like for the OGs, they go, oh, we want it to be the same where there's not as many cards, not as many promos, and I'm using gold cards. They could get 3 months into that, and I thought this was going to happen, and it might still happen. Gets 3 months into that and being the power curve reducing, and they go, I'm going to be honest, I am a little bit bored. I'm a little bit bored. There wasn't enough content. There wasn't enough content. I want more content. I want more SBCs, and I want more grinding on the menus. I could see that becoming a thing. That's just a way that it could be the other side. And then it would be interesting, like EA, they might do that and go, well, everyone's now saying it's boring and not enough. Maybe we go back to the other way. I'm not saying that's the right way. I'm just saying that EA has shown that they will go back, try some things, and if it doesn't work, they'll revert it back. It's going to be interesting to see how this game goes. Again, I'd love to see what you guys think. I'm sorry this video is a bit of a ramble, but I just want to get out my thoughts on this. I was going to make a short about it, but there's just no way to mention all that stuff in a short. I just hope that we can, as a community, come together and find a game that we like. I really do. I really do. And I genuinely think that this game is going to go in the right direction. I think it is, but it's only going to go in the right direction now. It's kind of on the community, all right? EA is trying their best, and I'm not saying they're getting everything right, all right? They're clearly not got everything right, but they're trying, all right? And now we've got to try too. We've got to come together and get a game that we want, test things out. If it doesn't work, we tell them. We say, no, we didn't like that, all right? If it does work, tell them. We like that. It's going to be interesting to see how this game goes. FC 26 is only just the beginning. It's already changed so much. Where will it end up at the end of the year? What's FC 27, 28 going to look like? It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.